Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the show. Welcome to TokenTalk. I'm your host, Keegan. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you're tuning in to learn, to grow, to spend some time with some individuals in the space. I'm hoping that I can bring you some value as we learn about the vocabulary, the fundamentals, what is Web3, where's the technology going. Over the time, I will bring a lot of information to you in the form of conference interviews, online meetings, Zoom sharing sessions where I'll go over different things on screen. What does it mean to burn an NFT? What does it mean to transfer? What is a mint day? What is any of those processes? And so there's a lot to learn and a lot to kind of understand. And I'm hoping that I can use my teaching skills to kind of bring you the visuals that you need, whichever learner type that you are. If you're an audio learner, a visual learner, kinesthetic learner, I'm hoping that I can bring you some information. And so in this first episode, I was at SD NFT Con, and I got a chance to speak with Valerie, aka VDizzle. And she is someone who's making moves in the space in terms of building communities, giving back, and helping people to grow as well. So we're going to give you some footage that we took there, and hopefully you enjoy it.
NFTs things? Yeah, just to piggyback off of what she said is just be confident in who you are and transparent about who you are. In this space, you have the opportunity to show up how you want to show up. You know, in your day-to-day lives, you might be in an office, but that's maybe not necessarily who you are in person. Maybe you are super goofy or you're super, out there, and you get to choose how you show up in the space. So don't feel afraid, be confident. People are super accepting. And one way that I found confidence in the space and reaching out to women is being on Twitter. There are threads of being like, where?
All right, we are live here again with our third round of interviews. We are with Valerie, aka VDizzle777. So, Valerie, I had a chance to see you on stage earlier today. So, what's going on here? Why don't you tell us why you're here, what's going on, how's it been for you so far?
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you for supporting and taking a look at, the panel. I was on the women's panel today, and so, yeah, we were just talking about the importance of, onboarding women into the space and where women need to have a voice in the metaverse, in Web3, in all of it. And so, yeah, I was just speaking about that.
Okay, so you just mentioned Web3. So for some of our newer people that are in the audience listening, what is Web3 exactly?
Yeah, so the way I've heard it before from all different people and the way that I understand it, and you're probably going to hear this many times from other people once you come into the space more, but Web 1.0 was when the internet was first born, and that was actually way before I was ever born, so I was not alive yet to invest or do anything, but then Web 2.0 was when, all the social media apps came on your smartphone, like Snapchat, there was other apps before those, and stuff like that. And then now here we are in the next wave of Web3, and where we have blockchain. Right. We have this blockchain technology where now you get to own your own data and take ownership of that, whereas all these other Web 1 and Web 2.0, you had these larger entities that controlled what they were going to do with your data. Right. And so now the people get to say what they do. So have you spoken before at various events? Because you seem pretty acclimated really well. Or was this your first time speaking at an event? I used to speak as a child, in my elementary years. I've done a lot of speaking events when I was young, so I think that helped me to prepare. Right. But this is actually my first true NFT conference speaking on this scale.
Yeah, and we have some footage too, so we may plug that in later. Okay. So as far as communities. I've been hearing a lot of talk about communities and in real life events, IRL for our audience that's new as well. So tell us a little bit about that. Are you involved in any communities or anything of that nature?
Yeah, actually I'm the founder of San Diego NFT Friends.
Oh, wow.
So if you live in San Diego, you're local, or even if you're visiting, come check us out. If you do follow me on my Twitter, it's at vdizzle777. You'll see the link to our Twitter page, and our Twitter page has the link to our Discord. So if you're new into NFTs, you'll figure out real fast that Twitter and Discord are the two main platforms where you can get connected to other like-minded individuals in the space. But yeah, so I hold these IRL meetups, so in real life meetups, every month. And you know, here these conferences, it's super formal. At my meetups, it's laid back. We have a drink, we have some food, and we talk about like, how did you get started? How did you find out? And you know, if you're super new and you have no idea any of the terminology, like feel free to come to these meetups and ask. Like, there are no stupid questions. We're all learning at the same time. So it's really an opportunity for you to feel comfortable and meet people.
So you could say the history books are actually being written in real time with where we're at with Web3 and NFTs. So are you involved in any NFT projects? Do you hold any NFTs? And what's one of your first ones? And because I know a few already, but for our audience, what do you think? Give us a little bit of info. What's one of your favorite projects?
Well, of course, my favorite project is the Veefriends project that was created by the famous entrepreneur, Gary Vaynerchuck.
Shout out to Gary. We're all family here with Veefriends. There's some in the background everywhere all around us. Yeah,
and so I wasn't able to afford Etherum at the time because I was like a full-time student in my master's program.
And what's Etherum? Sorry to cut you off. For our newer, what's Etherum for anybody that's new?
It's a type of cryptocurrency. So one that most people are familiar with is Bitcoin. Bitcoin cryptocurrency. Etherum is one of the main popular ones that is used in the NFT space.
So we need to have Etherum in order to buy NFTs.
Correct.
Okay, so sorry, go ahead, continue with your story.
So yeah, I wasn't able to afford Etherum at the time, but you know, Keegan actually here.
We actually go way back. We have some storyline.
That's another
separate
video.
But we're here to talk about SDCon and Valerie and VDizzle and what she's doing in the Web3 space.
Sure. So Keegan actually approached me at a cafe while I was studying, and he told me to get into the Veefriends project. And I was in the Discord making connections, and Gary Vaynerchuck was like, "Hey, can you fill out this Google form?" And there was one question on the Google form, and it just said, "What does Veefriends mean to you?" And I filled it out. It was a very personal story, and you know, all this stuff. But yeah, Gary V actually gifted me one of the Veefriends tokens, and it makes it special because it came directly from Gary's digital wallet. So it's spelled G-O-O. Some people pronounce it goo. I say go because Gary says go. There's a whole debate. But that was one of my first projects.
And is there utility with that project as well?
Yeah, so with utility, there's like a VeeCon. There's a conference that Gary is putting on called VeeCon, and it's going to be something like this, but on a way larger scale, where you can hear from people from all different backgrounds talk about their experience and their journeys and their projects in the NFT space. So you do get, you know, the access to VeeCon for 3 years. And then you also, who knows, Gary is always creating something with his characters. And, oh, you're not wearing the hat, but Gary has a Veefriend token, the perspective pigeon, right?
I don't have the perspective pigeon hat.
But you bought the hat.
I do have I have the shirt. I have that collaboration with the perspective pigeon with Stapleverse. So yeah. So you could say that you were motivated to start your community, right?
Yeah, so the way that happened was, back again to the Veefriends Discord, Gary would always say, like, put your name, your location, what do you do, and, what are you working, and blah, blah, blah. And I started realizing that there was a lot of people here in San Diego.
Right.
And, I was like, hey, we should all meet up, all the San Diego people. And everyone's like, yeah, let's do it. But no one took action. So I was like, I'm going to be the first.
Someone's got to do it, right?
I got to do it.
Someone's got to do it.
I did it. I had no idea what the hell I was doing about Discord. I didn't know anything. So what do you do when you don't know something? You go to YouTube.
Right.
You go to YouTube. So I learned on YouTube how to create my Discord and started there and started inviting people in there.
Wow, that's great. Yeah, so many different journeys that have already started just within the past year. So this whole blossoming Web3 space is still new, still in its infancy. So if you're still wanting to find out more or learn more, you're not too late. This is not anything that's going away anytime soon. This is just the beginning. And people are going to look back and remember this for how it started and the origins. And so we have some very special people in the space right now, and you're going to remember the names and the faces that you see today in the future. So Valerie, any other things you want to tell us or the audience where they can find you or how they should reach out to you if they need any advice or input?
Yeah, so again, if you want to follow me on Twitter, I'm at VDizzle777. And listen, I've been at this conference and I've already spoken to a handful of people that don't have Twitter or they don't use their Twitter anymore. If you have interest to get into this space, definitely go and make a Twitter. Use the hashtag NFT community and you'll see
Twitter.
Twitter's
where it's at.
all this content of people posting up about the NFT space. So if you want to get connected, please feel free to DM me. My DMs are open. If you find yourself in my Discord, reach out. I'll say hello. And if you need help with your project, I also do consulting. So I can help you, connect you to an artist if you need an artist. If you need a developer, I can connect you to a developer.
Wow.
If you need community anything you need.
Bringing the people together.
I've got the network.
Wow, that's great. Well, we appreciate your time. Where's the next thing planned for you? What's the next big event?
The next big event, well, locally I do have, I don't know when you're posting up this video, but I do have a meetup happening April 23rd on Saturday at 3 p.m. I don't know the location yet, but you're going to have to come into the Discord to figure that out. But that is the next local event that I have going on. And then as far as conferences, I'm really excited for that VeeCon event.
Right, and we're all going to be there. So we're going to have more footage, more behind the scenes. We'll talk to VDizzle, we'll talk to Witchy Bits, we'll talk to all these other VeeFriends, and we're going to get him some FaceTime.
Are you going to get Gary on?
If I can get Gary, I know he's a busy guy. I mean, there's a small timer here, but we'll see. I got a good ground game, so everybody's going to hear about TokenTalk when the time comes.
Well, listen, if you can't get Gary, I'm connected to Maha, which is Gary V's PR manager. So maybe if you ask me, I can get you on.
She has so many hookups, so many connections. Well, thank you for being here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for episode 1. I hope you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some value and you were able to learn some things about Web3 and NFTs. I hope you enjoyed learning about what VDizzle, Valerie, is doing in the space. And I have a number of other interviews that I was able to get while I was at the conference. Some are artists, some are developers, some are community managers, and some are doing VR. And so hopefully we'll give you some information to learn and grow with. Thanks again for watching. My name is Keegan, and you're watching TokenTalk.